I need you to stop being afraid of change. I need you to stop being afraid of letting the old version of you die. I think that that's something that we do a lot of as a collective, where we think that change is bad. We think that change means that it's always deemed as a wrong thing, that being changed. I was talking to a guy, I think it was like last week or so. He got a new job opportunity to move out to California. And he was so worried because he felt as though, is this the right decision? Is this something that I should do? I'm abandoning my past life. I think he lived in, I think he said it was Reno, Nevada, which is very suburban and stuff like that. And he was very afraid of moving to LA, living in the city. And he was just asking me questions, like, what do I think he should do? And I was telling him, bro, there's nothing tying you back to Reno. He didn't have family. He got a new job. I think that that's something that when you move to California, that's honestly like 80% of what you stress about. You stress about a job and where you're gonna live, but mainly a job because everybody knows how the job market is. And I was telling him, bro, like, you're young. You're young. You don't got a girl, don't got family in Reno. Why don't you just try something new? And he was just like, I don't know, bro, but he was very afraid of change. So that's kind of what sparked this video, because I used to be the same way, where I used to be so afraid of changing, to be honest with you. When people from my hometown look at me, I never want them to think, oh, you changed. Like, that's the worst thing you could hear, being from the hood or being from somewhere where everybody knows you and they're looking at you like, man, you're different. But why would you want to be the same? Especially when you're called to do something that is far greater than what you've been doing. You don't like the life that you're living. The only way to get something that you've never gotten is to do something you've never done. And the only way to do something you've never done is to embrace the change. Too many times in our lives, we like to place ourselves in a box, whether that be something that somebody else created, or the box that we create in our own minds, where we feel as though that we can't change. But it's only us that's telling us that we can't change. The person who believes that they can't do something and the person that believes that they can are both right. Your life starts to get a lot better when you embrace change. Change allows you to grow into something far better. Now, well, let me not say better because that's all subjective, but just way more beautiful than what you've imagined. I'm so thankful that I've changed, because had I not, there were so many toxic situations, so many people in my life that I didn't even realize was hindering my growth because of my refusal to change. And I think that that's also something that is important when you're looking at your life and questioning whether or not I should do something, move to that city, talk to that girl, take this job opportunity and stuff like that. Where, damn, I lost my train of thought. But essentially, let's try to call it back. We look at our lives and we're just like, man, is this the wrong thing? Because it's uncomfortable. Oh, that's what I was getting at, growth. Remaining in the same spot, it doesn't allow you to grow. But when you embrace change, that's when you ultimately start to attract everything that you want. That's also something else I wanted to touch on. Remaining in a situation far longer than you should. Because we're so addicted to monotonous patterns in our lives, where we are just constantly going through the motions and we're not questioning, man, is this even a life that I want to live? Is this even something that I want to do? Kane's starting. Kane, no! Come here. No, whatever. But we're not questioning the parts of our lives that we don't like. We just think that because everybody else is doing it, we ultimately have to do it too. But I'm here to tell you that that doesn't have to be the case. So many people in my life want to do something creative, but not a lot of them want to go through the struggle of looking cringy or embarrassed, or they don't know if they'll ever make money from it. And rightfully so, because how would you know? You literally won't know until you do the thing. And that's something that you have to embrace. Because if we're being honest, there's not really anything in life that is guaranteed. I know society likes to place this sense of comfort around going to school, getting a job, and this isn't me bashing school or anything like that, but it's just to emphasize the time it would take for you to do anything in school or anything like that. If you have a passion to do something creatively, it will take you the same amount of time. So why not give energy to something that you actually want rather than something that you don't? I think that it's important that as a collective that we allow ourselves to embrace the parts of ourselves that actually set us on fire. No, Kane. When we live in purpose and we allow ourselves to be a beacon of light for everybody around us, that's when our lives start to magnify our own greatness, and we start to attract people in our lives that essentially remind us of who we were meant to be. No, Kane. I'm trying to find this treat bag, whatever. Change is beautiful. Growing is beautiful. Give me 1 second. Gotta discipline my boy. But growing is beautiful. I honestly take it as a compliment when people tell me that I've changed. And it's not to take anything away from the version of me that I was in the past, not in the slightest. But there were many things about myself that I did not enjoy. So why wouldn't I want to change those parts of me? Those insecurities, lack of self-love, lack of discipline, you know? Those are all things that I didn't like about myself. Why wouldn't I want to change those things? Why wouldn't you want to change those things? When we start to embrace who we actually are and start to live righteously and allow ourselves to go against the grain, regardless of what other people might think, I think that's when we actually start to materialize everything that we want in life. Everything in our lives is merely a reflection of how we feel about ourselves intrinsically. So if there's any version of your life that you dislike, I think something that's helped me a lot is looking within and asking myself genuinely, what is it that I don't like about me that is now materialized into the physical world? Because that's when I actually started to embrace the change. And that's honestly when my life started to look up and really started to turn into something that I loved and appreciated. And I think it's important that in the season of change, where you feel as though, oh, there's not too many people around me, that's fine too. Because something that I've noticed that when you're going through a season of change, it's very hard to resonate with people who are so stuck in their ways that they're refusing or being resistant to growth. Those aren't people that you want to be around anyways. Why would you want to be around somebody who doesn't want to grow, doesn't want to change, doesn't want to elevate themselves to a higher level of consciousness, or genuinely desire something better than what they've been presently receiving? No! I think it's very important that in this season where you are called to, man, this boy. In this season where you are called to work on things, whether it be emotionally, spiritually, or physically, I think it's important that you remain calm and recognize it for what it is, a good thing and not a bad one, even though it may feel bad. But we are not our emotions, you know? Just because it feels bad doesn't mean that it's wrong. I think that that's something that I had to learn in this season where I'm going against things that I would do in the past. I thought that because it felt bad, it means that I shouldn't be giving my energy to this. But what I've been telling myself lately is that that's just old parts of myself dying. And I'm mourning the loss of that old version of me that used to give energy to the things that I was afraid of. It's funny how everything that we're afraid of ultimately happens. When I look back on situations that I was so afraid of happening, they all happened. The point of me saying that is just understanding what we give our energy to is so important, because I think that because sorry, I'm losing my train of thought. Faith and fear require you to, give me 1 second. Faith and fear require you to believe in something that you can't see. They both require you to believe in something that you can't see. No, Kane. So why not give energy to the latter? It's very important that we continue to shape our reality to what we want it to be, and not allowing ourselves to give into fear, doubt, guilt, and just trust that everything will be okay, because ultimately it will be. The lives that we live, or the lives that you live, is solely based on how you perceive it. If you choose to view everything in a negative light, then it will be so. If you choose to view it in a positive light, it will be so. No, Kane. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. Recognize the season that you're in and embrace it. Don't allow yourself to go back to your old ways because you feel uncomfortable. Uncomfortability breeds growth. When you go to the gym for the first time and it hurts, do you stop going? Or do you push through the pain because you know ultimately it's going to lead you to the person that you've always wanted to be? That's the same way you should look at your life. That's the same way you should look at everything that you do and recognize that, you know, this pain that I'm feeling is temporary. Because now that I've gone through this, the next time that I go through it, I know that it'll be a walk in the park. Because I've been here before. I've done this, and I don't need to keep acting as though I can't handle it. Where we at, 14? I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. If you made it this far in the video, thank you all so much. My name is Trent Bishop. Until next time.